Hello and welcome to Steve and Dave's 50 years ago this month. This time around, we're taking a look at the top 100, the Hot 100 of the Billboard from September 13th, 1975.
Yep.
And let's just dive right in.
Let's do, shall we? At number one in mid-September of 75, it's that Rhinestone Cowboy, Glen Campbell. This is one of his signature tunes, and it is a monster hit for Mr. Campbell. Rhinestone Cowboys at number one. We talked about that last month. At number two, well, okay, it's Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds, and they're amazing. Fallen in Love. So, and we talked about that. We talked about that last month. I guess there's such an interesting story behind their name, and so
Well,
we'll encourage you to
yes,
take a look at a
yes.
previous episode.
But
So
their second best hit.
yeah, yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's right. And two, at least to some of their credit, they had a couple of hits. Not everybody was involved in all of them, but anyway, but there you go. So that's one and two. At number three, it's Janis Ian with at 17. Janis Ian was
She
a
received a Grammy for
precocious.
that, didn't she?
I believe she
I
did.
believe
Yeah,
she did. Yeah.
and it's she was a precocious kid. She was a songwriter before she was a teenager, and actually years earlier had had a hit in the late '60s, a song called "Society's Child." Baby, I've been thinking, a song about among other things interracial love, and it was a top 20 hit in '67, and but she was super young when that hit the charts, and but she kept at it, um, and she hit gold with at 17, which would if that three this week this would be the high water mark. It would peak at number one on the adult contemporary charts. It is it's obviously a song. Those of you, it's a song about rejection, about the cruelty of the teenage
Oh
years.
yeah, teenage
It's
angst. Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's it's pretty raw.
Yes.
It's pretty raw, and it's written from her perspective. She's talked about this song at length over the years, and has described it as basically in many ways kind of her story. Um, but it's kind of the all-time outsider's ballad. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, I think everybody at some point, right, in those teenage years, struggles with one's identity and one's place. And it's there's a lot to kind of connect to. It is, yeah, I actually think it's quite brilliant in its own
Oh,
way.
it's a very good song. Yeah.
It's So Janis Ian, who is still touring and still playing at 17 decades later. So if this is September 75, in October 75, a new show will start on NBC called Saturday Night. And Janis Ian will participate in the inaugural episode. That episode will be hosted by George Carlin. We probably will talk about that show a bit next week. In describing her experience on Saturday Night Live, first of all, Ian was quite sick. She had a huge fever and just really felt lousy. But nobody had any sense that this was going to be a particularly important show, that this would on any level be a landmark. It was just another televised gig, and for all she knew, there weren't even all that many people watching at late night on a Saturday. But she has that distinction of being one of those who participated. So I don't know. I don't have much more to say here. Let's take a listen to At 17,
Yeah, let's
which
do it.
is in its own way a kind of classic.
I learned the truth at 17, that love was meant for beauty queens, and high school girls with clear skin smiles who married young and then retired. The Valentines I never knew, the Friday night charades of youth were spent on one more beautiful. At 17 I learned
Yikes. Yeah, that's as raw as it gets, Janis Ian with that 17. She really taps into something that's I actually think is quite profound, in a
Well,
way.
yeah, let's talk about that a little bit because I do think it's an experience um, that nearly everybody makes in high school, right?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's
And
right.
and there have been other songs dedicated to that. And one that comes to mind for me is "Glory Days" by Springsteen,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
who tells the other side of the story. The kids that were huge in high school, uh, you know, don't ever experience that level of success and acknowledgement again.
Right.
The big fish in the small pond just end up being minnows the rest of their lives.
Yeah, nowhere to go but down.
And a lot
That's
of the
right.
people that were just nobodies or even outsiders in high school um, go on to have very successful lives that eclipse often
It's
the people that
that
so tormented them while they were in high
I
school.
have to, yeah, I have to say the hothouse environment that is middle school and high school is, I think is so damaging, can be so damaging, is so oftentimes so damaging, and is not predictive on any level. I
But
just,
those are traumatic experiences, right?
but
And
those are traumatic experiences,
even if
not
you're the CEO of
absolutely.
a big company, you're never going to forget, the wedgies in the boys' room.
That's right. Or the phone not ringing, or the Valentine you didn't get, and all this kind of thing that she
All that stuff.
references.
Yeah.
It's yeah, you never really get past it. And so there is, I mean, is at 17 cloying, is at 17 a bit self-pitying? Yeah, maybe. But it is, I think it's so spot on,
Yeah. Yeah.
with the notion of alienation and just being just alone, as a kid. It's really something.
And it's at such a formative time of your life too.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you're
Oh
trying to figure out
yeah.
who you are and how you fit into the world, and you're looking for all these cues, and you're getting the cues from your environment, and your
You're
environment is
getting the
saying, "Hey,
cues.
you're nobody. You're just
That it's yeah, yes. I mean
so." Yeah,
it is as yeah. So it's as powerful a song
I think
that
that's
as
what
is
keeps us
written
from
has.
being cloying, actually, because
I
it's
think
just
you're probably.
kind of
I think you're right.
appropriate.
I, I I think you're right. I think it's so she tapped into something very real. So it's a classic. So at number three, it's Janis Ian at 17. Well, then let's lighten the mood slightly, shall we? So it's disco. Um, it's disco,
Yeah, it is.
and nothing says disco like Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Well,
And
that's for
here we
sure.
go. It's Get Down Tonight at number four.
If you're talking about white boy disco, um, after the Bee Gees, these guys are it, right? I mean, can you think of
Well,
another?
Casey is.
Uh,
Um, I probably, yeah.
well,
Casey, the Sunshine
Casey,
Band. I mean, they were, yeah.
Casey without the Sunshine Band, who is that?
He had a couple hits without the Sunshine Band.
Did he?
He did, yeah. But your points. I mean, okay, they are they embody the disco sound, and almost a kind of disco ethos, if there isn't such a thing, right? They are just let's stop thinking, start dancing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there we go. And so
Well, and the funny thing about this is, Casey and the Sunshine Band were essentially part of the cottage industry in
yes, they were.
Hialeah, Florida.
Yep.
So I guess if you're a white boy wanting to make disco, Florida's the place to go. But these guys were, well, Casey was a local. Casey and his co-founder of the band and the co-writer of this song, one Richard Finch.
Mhm.
Casey's Harry Wayne
Yeah.
Casey,
Harry Wayne Casey, yeah.
and he and Richard Finch found the band, and this is all centered around uh, just a little studio in Hialeah, Florida,
Yeah.
TK. That was founded by the record distributor Henry Stone and Steve Alamo in 1972. Uh, and with names like Henry Stone and Steve Alamo, you wonder where they got the TK, or I did anyway.
Yeah.
And a little bit of digging, turns out that was the initials of their sound engineer, Terry Kane, who actually built the recording studio in
Oh, okay. There
the
we go.
attic of Stone's office. So that's why the TK. So that was their record company, TK Records, and everything that Casey and the Sunshine Band did was put out by TK Records. And before they were a band, they were just guys working at the studio. Finch was doing some sound engineering, or he had worked his way up from sound engineering. He dropped out of high school as a junior because he wanted to do this music stuff, and his mom didn't find out about it until much after the fact.
Yeah.
Casey was hired to move boxes and stuff. You know, it was just, but they got to know each other there. They started writing almost immediately. And the funny thing is, they had a couple hits before Casey and the Sunshine Band even became a thing, before they even put the band together.
Huh.
They wrote a hit song for Betty Wright, "Where Is the Love?" And for George McCrae, we've talked about this song,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Rock Your Baby. And that was an inspiration
It's a huge song.
for John Lennon. Whatever Gets You
Oh,
Through the
yeah.
Night. It was a huge song and it inspired. Lennon said he would have given his eye tooth to have written that. And it's written by two guys working at a small little studio down in Florida. So you have
Yeah.
somebody like John Lennon saying he wished he had written your
Well,
song.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
That's
there you go. I mean, it's real, but the transition, right? From it's one thing to be songwriters, it's another thing to be performers, recording artists, and they're able to somehow negotiate that transition.
But this is going to be their first hit as a band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the Casey and the Sunshine Band album, which is not their debut album, as one might think. It's their second studio album. It was released in July 1975, and it was huge. You know, it already it put them on the charts literally. The first of 5 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah.
Also reached
They,
the top of the Billboard Hot Souls chart, of course. #1 in Canada, #11 in Belgium, #5 in the Netherlands.
I,
And
they are,
almost
they're,
broke into the top 20 of the UK.
well, okay. Well, the British,
Uh,
a bit standoffish perhaps,
yeah,
but
they're
but
not that
Casey,
friendly.
but Casey and the Sunshine Band are really synonymous. I think alongside the Bee Gees, as you said a second ago, with disco. And again, it's there's nothing complicated here about it, but it is the groove is insatiable, and you just can't, and they tapped into something that was, it was in the air.
In 1975, you cannot have a junior high or high school dance without
I think
at least one song each from the Bee
I think
Gees and the
I think
Casey and the
that's right.
Sunshine Band. You
Yeah, of
just can't.
course. Of course. Yeah, yeah. So it's well, should we listen
One more
to a
thing,
little? Oh, go for it.
2222, Rolling Stone ranked Get Down Tonight as number 100 in their list of 200 greatest dance songs of all time.
Well,
So
then from the pages of Rolling Stone,
there you go.
that's good enough. That's good enough for me. So here we go. Casey and the Sunshine Band with Get Down Tonight.
That we like to do.
America's national anthem in 1975, Get Down Tonight. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Especially in
They
high
have a
school.
number. Oh my goodness. They have a
Yeah,
number of
you, you,
hits,
you
but
could dance to it, but you would not be getting down.
well, there we go.
Not if you
Speak for
were in my
yourself,
crowd.
mister. Okay. Let's shift gears just slightly here. It's a it's a transitional moment for one Davy Jones, who we know as David Bowie. It's at number five, it's Fame, and the Ziggy Stardust is in the rearview mirror, and it's the Thin White Duke. So yeah, so David Bowie's Fame at five.
Yeah. Um, there's a lot to unwrap here. This was
Yeah,
from the album Young Americans. It was his ninth studio album, which was mostly co-produced by Tony Visconti,
yeah,
who did not produce this. Most of that
that's
album was
interesting.
already under wraps before this song was even written.
That's really interesting because Visconti is sort of, I mean, they are very much, I mean, attached at the hip, and Visconti's really responsible for so much of Bowie's success in this era. But okay, but not involved with this. Yeah,
Right.
interesting.
And this was released as the second single from the album. Um, David Bowie said, I wouldn't know a hit single if it came up and bit me on the butt.
Well, there we go. There's a rare moment of candor. I
He
mean,
said
right.
he said he would have never chosen that as a single from
Oh,
the album,
it's
but
it's an unusual song
it is.
for a
But
single.
it was huge.
Oh
And
yeah, it really was.
um, this was written together with John Lennon as he was coming out of his Lost Weekend period. He had already reunited with Yoko Ono. He was
May Pang, we hardly knew ye. Yeah.
back in New York. Um,
Ah, yes, somewhere in New
and
York City.
the third writer credit goes to Carlos Alomar, who had some interesting guitar
Yeah.
hooks for this. The actual producer then, apart from Bowie himself, was Harry Maslin, who in the mid
Oh,
'70s had engineered hits for Barry Manilow and Diane Warwick, the Spinners. Um, and he would go on to produce Golden Years for Bowie a bit
yeah.
later. And seven singles in the top five for Air Supply.
Oh, come on. I
Oh,
mean, those Air Supply records are, in fact, are well produced.
whatever. Okay, they may be
Oh,
well
oh,
produced.
oh, just stop. I mean, they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're
Anyway,
fine.
we're not talking about Air Supply.
No, yeah, yeah.
Thank
From
God.
Air Supply to Bowie. Thank you. All right.
Anyway, the song was a major commercial success in North America. It was Bowie's first number one single in the Billboard Hot 100 and the Canadian single chart. One of the most successful singles of the year, ranking at number eight of the
That's
year at Hot
yeah.
100. Didn't do quite as well in Europe. It reached number 17 in the UK singles chart. And it's one of four Bowie songs to be included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll.
Let's see if we can guess the others. Space Odd.
I can't tell you, but
Uh-oh. Well, wait a minute. We'll just make it up. Space Oddity is clearly
Space
one of
Oddity,
them, but
it's got to be up there.
so you're I mean Bowie was he was an album artist for the most part, but he did have some chart success in the singles. But this is his first number one.
First number one, yeah, in the States. Um,
Yes, yeah, that's
and
interesting.
uh,
Huh.
it displaced Rhinestone Cowboy
Oh, well,
during the week of September 20th. And the
it
following
is,
week, it dropped to number two again behind John Denver's I'm Sorry. But
oh God, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that soon enough.
that
But
was only
it's
for a week. It was only for a week, and it returned to the top spot until it was replaced by Neil Sedaka's Bad Blood.
oh another favorite of ours.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Um but this is
Um,
but right, but Bowie has, I mean, but Bowie has taken on a different persona, right? He is his whole approach to his craft is being is has been altered. in 1974, 1975.
And he's had, in particular, one or two really bitter experiences that led to this song.
Here we go.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
he had recently broken with his manager, Tony DeFries, um, for the most part, over an expensive musical theater project that DeFries had come up with, essentially a musical biography of Marilyn Monroe titled Fame. And the financing for that came from Main Man, which was essentially Bowie's company. So Main Man took a huge hit because of this. The the musical flopped off Broadway before going on to flop on Broadway.
Yeah, it disappears without a trace.
And
Yeah,
so
this is yeah.
there's well, I think you get a sense that there's a certain bitterness involved here.
Oh,
Uh,
just a hint.
just a hint.
Just a dash of bitterness. Yeah.
Bully for you, Billy for me. It's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
degree of malice. Anyway, Bowie would later describe Fame as, quote, nasty, angry, and admit that was written with a degree of malice.
It's a nasty little song. It just is. There's just, it's funky, but if you it the they're dripping with almost with venom, the lyrics.
Well, Bowie said it's his least favorite track on the album. But he goes on to
Oh,
say,
that's
quote,
interesting. Yeah.
I'd had very upsetting management problems, and a lot of that was built into the song. I've left all that behind me now. I think fame itself is not a rewarding thing. The most you can say is that it gets you a seat in restaurants. End quote. Just real
Yeah. I
quickly,
mean,
the personnel from the song: Bowie on lead vocals, rhythm guitar, piano, and some percussion. John Lennon on backing vocals and
mhm.
acoustic guitar. Carlos Alomar on lead and rhythm
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
Earl Slick rhythm guitar. Emar Kessan bass, and Dennis Davis on drums and
There we go.
vibra slap.
Hyper slap. All right.
Let's listen in.
So let's listen in. Fame from David Bowie, and we'll just, I'll add also John Lennon. It is super funky, but
Yeah,
it is
well, so
also super bitter.
while Alomar is playing this funky guitar part, uh, Lennon came in with aim.
Yeah.
And because of his recent experiences, of course, it was a short jump to fame. And he was credited with songwriting credits that were given to Lennon, but
Very
apparently
generous.
his contribution was mainly on a spiritual, inspirational level. There weren't a whole lot of
Well, yeah, it's I think it's a fair point, but it probably didn't hurt to have Lennon's name on the credits. I mean,
probably
it's
there.
not to be cynical, but
No,
I
yeah,
mean, but it's yeah, it's a bitter song. Really bitter, but really funky.
it is funky. Yeah.
So there we have it. So at number 5, right, we have Bowie with Fame. So that some headlines from September 1975, Dave, if we could. So it's over. Her time on the lam is over. It is one Patricia Hearst, who had been on the run for roughly a year and a half. after her participation in a bank robbery, and she was captured in September of 75, which would set in motion then one of the strangest uh, trials and periods of incarceration in American legal history. Um, she was so the story, I think we have talked about it, in February of 74, was kidnapped out of her apartment at Cal Berkeley by the Sudanese Liberation Army, brainwashed, most likely, um, participated in a bank robbery at Hibernia Bank in California.
And
Um,
the Stockholm syndrome
the Stockholm
played
syndrome,
played a role there,
and
and that was, I don't know that they even had a name for that
it
until
was
this,
happening. The Stockholm syndrome was actually roughly at the same time,
about
and
the
so
same
yeah,
time, right? Yeah.
about the same. But Hearst had been on the FBI's most wanted list really for roughly a year. It was and so when she was captured, she was accused of the bank heist. She was actually the lone person tried on the bank heist, and was eventually found guilty. She went through a whole series of lawyers, and she ended up settling on one F. Lee Bailey of, oh geez. So F. Lee Bailey became famous, infamous, with the Boston Strangler case a decade or so earlier. Um, Bailey made the blunder of putting Hearst on the stand. Hearst was not the most convincing witness on a host of levels. Anyway, she ends up in prison. Um, we will eventually see her sentence commuted by President Carter. It's almost everything about the Hearst case, even a half century later, is very strange. Um, Almost all of it is just almost beggars description. It's just so weird. But she's no longer on the run, and she reconnects with her family, uh, sort of, um, and they provide her with an amazing number of resources. She greatly benefited, of course, from being the daughter of one of the richest people in the United States,
Well,
but she's no longer on the lam.
don't you think one of the silver linings of being caught is that you have a picture of this, uh, and it's kind of like the middle finger to your parents, isn't it?
I think a little bit, yeah. I think, yeah. I mean,
And
I
that's,
mean,
I mean,
what
certainly
could be more
she
painful,
could not
right?
have been harboring fond feelings for them at that point.
No, I think I mean, right. I think that's absolutely the case. And they were sorting out their feelings toward her. The trial was, yeah, it was a circus. And it is odd that she served months months in prison, roughly 22 months in prison. Um, but then, kind of just started her life. It's well, anyway, everything is running the Penny Hearst case is odd. I mean, just you you can focus on it and it's just peculiar. Also, right, so it's September of 75. Um, and poor Gerald Ford he lives through, so I guess, it's better than the alternative, but he has two attempts on his life. On September 5th from Lynette Fromm, and then on the 22nd from Sarah Jane Moore. In both cases, the weapons fail to fire, and they're apprehended almost immediately. Um, the Lynette Fromm on the left is maybe better known as Squeaky Fromm, and she was a member of the Manson clan. She was a kind of satellite member of the group. Uh, she did not participate in the Tate LaBianca murders. She was not incarcerated for any of the Manson family crimes, but she remained a kind of true believer. And so um, it was, I think, a shock to, well, I think most Americans have thought they had kind of put the Manson thing behind them. after the trial and the convictions. But then this was really startling, and I remember this as a kid that Squeaky Fromm's name, emerging as a would-be assassin, was just a real bolt out of the blue. Um, Sarah Jane Moore's situation, and maybe a little bit more conventional, real mental anguish. Both served a considerable amount of time. Both were convicted and served a considerable amount of time, but both were released, and I believe both are still alive, living out their years. But man, it was just, and Gerald Ford, right? The most, I mean,
Inconsequential.
inconsequential milk toast kind of figure, but it's not. But it's not the individual they're targeting. It's the office, and it was really startling. It was really startling in this era. Yeah, so let's think about what's at number six, and that's the Isley Brothers with Fight the Power. Man, the Isley Brothers have, even by 75, had been around for a long time. Family group formed in the late 1950s, actually had some doo-wop success. Arguably, their most famous number from the early 60s was Twist and Shout. It's a group that has, by the time we get to 75, they've taken on a different kind of edge, a harder edge, a lot more guitar, a lot more clavinet, a lot more funk. It's also a group that has embraced the notion of a kind of self-determination. They create their own record label, and that record label, T-Neck, is remarkably successful. They have a huge run of number one R&B/soul albums throughout the 70s. They are a massively influential and popular group in this era. And this particular song is about what it sounds like, about not taking any more, and pushing it back against the man. You will hear, and we'll listen to it in just a second. You will hear then Chris Jasper's clavinet, which is the instrument of the 70s, right? The clavinet, I guess most notably somebody like Stevie Wonder, but it was embraced by lots of groups as really this sort of incredible. It just would funkify the most pedantic of songs, and so it's amazing. The Isley Brothers are still touring. Many of them have passed on, but it's the family business, and they're still hitting it. A half century plus later, it's really quite extraordinary. So let's listen to Fight the Power Part One and Chris Jasper's incredible clavinet playing.
Time is really wasted. There's no guarantee. Smile is in the making. We gotta fight the powers that be. Got so many voices. Saying all the same. Giving up all around me. Bases full of pain.
The clavinet. Oh my God. So Fight the Power, Isley Brothers. It would peak at number four on the pop charts, number one on the R&B charts, and a respectable number 13 on the dance charts, the disco charts. But there we have the Isleys, and we'll hear from them again very soon in 75. So this is number seven. Oh geez. So this is odd. It's Barry Manilow, which isn't odd. I mean, he's becoming a major star at this point. But this song, Could It Be Magic, at number seven, has a very strange, curious, peculiar backstory.
Well, yeah, it certainly does. Barry Manilow wrote this, and it's very clear he has an intro and an outro of the song that
Yeah.
are directly taken from Chopin. He had been practicing, doing some piano practicing with Chopin, the prelude in C minor, Opus 28,
Yeah,
number
yeah.
20, to be specific. And when he was done with that in his apartment that afternoon, he thought, I think I could get a song out of that. And he went on to compose the music of Could It Be Magic? Um, the first version of that was when Tony Orlando, who was a record executive at the time, vice president of company.
Was that I know it was on the Bell label, but I don't know.
It was Bell, right?
Yeah, okay.
And so he heard the song, he liked it, and so he created around Manilow
Yeah.
one of these, test tube groups.
Sure.
The God damn it,
The Featherbed.
the Featherbed,
Yeah.
and so he produced "Could It Be Magic" with his lyrics, and they released this as a single in 1971, and it went nowhere.
No, it went nowhere.
To the great relief of Barry Manilow, who absolutely hated what Orlando had done with it. So when it came
Well,
time for him to put together his first album, he had one of his longtime songwriting collaborators, Adrian Anderson, come with the lyrics for the 1973 version in the Barry Manilow debut album. And they recorded it as he had imagined it, which was as a type of crescendo song. They
yeah.
start off nice and low and just build to this huge thing. He mentioned "Hey Jude" as kind of a model of that, and
Well,
he
yeah.
talked about, essentially you're building to a musical orgasm. Now,
Okay.
when
All
you
right.
when you think of it that way, you can understand why he keeps repeating "Come, come."
That's a little too on the nose, isn't it?
Little bit. Anyway, this was how he conceived it, and this is how he recorded it, and it wasn't released initially the first from the first album. It was re-released after Arista took over from Bell. Arista acquired Bell.
Yeah, that's right.
Fired most of the
And
artists.
this would be Arista under the leadership of Clive Davis, I believe.
Right, exactly right. And so they fired most of the artists, but they kept Manilow. And after he had come out with Mandy and It's a Miracle, both from his second album, I believe.
That's right.
Which
I
was
think that's right. Yes.
just called Manilow 2.
Mm-hmm.
They repackaged the first album,
Repackaged. Yes.
no longer Barry Manilow, but Manilow 1, and
Yes.
re-released the song, or released the song for the first time as a single in his version.
So
And he
yeah.
wanted the song to build and build until you can't take it anymore.
Well, that it does. I mean, I think that, I mean, he achieves that. Let's do this. Let's listen to. Can we listen to the first version, the Orlando version?
Oh yeah, let's, because it's so hard to imagine. It's so hard to imagine unless you've actually heard it. So let's do that.
Yeah. So this is the Orlando version from the early '70s, and yeah, it's you can tell Orlando's got his fingers in the pie. to say, baby, I want you. I would say, it's not wretched. It's not wretched, but it definitely is. It definitely has that Bell label feel too. One of Bell's big acts in this era was one Partridge Family. But
Well,
okay, but
and
go
even
ahead. Yeah.
Orlando, sorry, even Manilow said later, well, it really didn't suck.
No, no. I think that that's fair. But it's certainly not. It's not. It wasn't his artistic vision. It strayed
Oh,
far
he
from
was
his
very,
artistic
very,
vision.
very upset that
So
that's what
yeah, I
they
think
did.
yeah, and
Look what
so
they've
this
done to
is
my song, Mom.
wow, yeah, yeah. So let's listen then to the version this is Manilow's version, and the you talked about the crescendo building to something well
Just
orgasmic.
before we get to that, even
Yes,
one
please.
of the parts in the slow build up to this, one of the lyrics is "Sweet Melissa,
Yeah,
angel of
Angel
my
of my
love." The Melissa that was referred to was Melissa Manchester,
Oh, there you go.
who he had
They
worked with and
they
appreciated. And
They were, that's right. Their paths crossed at several points in the early years. In fact, I think Melissa Manchester was part of that bathhouse circuit that was
with
also
Bette Midler and
Bette Miller. Yeah, and
yeah,
but oh sweet. Oh, well, there you
Sweet
go.
Melissa,
Yeah,
Melissa Manchester.
sweet
Yeah.
Melissa. Oh, I just kind of wondered about that. Oh, awesome. All right, so yeah, here we go. So this is the Manilow version that he was at peace with. All right.
And back to Chopin.
Back to Chopin. It's not subtle, but it is interesting, and I think it's one of his more complex popular songs. And I think he achieved something quite interesting. But it's like you're suggesting, it's a long way from that Tony Orlando version. I mean, a long way.
And
Um,
I remember Manilow becoming uh, a pop star. I remember hearing his stuff on the radio and liking it and starting to remember who it was, what his name is, and start following what he was doing.
yeah, it's and at this era, as you suggested a second ago, with Mandy and all these hits are just it's a kind of conveyor belt of of popular hits,
Boy,
and
the
he's
70s were very good to Barry Manilow.
very good to him. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So that's at number seven, Barry Manilow's "Could It Be Magic." At number eight, there's no getting away from him. It's John Denver with, and you talk about cloying and pitying. It's John Denver at number eight with "I'm Sorry." And this is
Uh,
oh God. Well, if I could, a quote from John Henry Duchendorf himself. I'm sorry for the way things are in China. I'm sorry things ain't the way they used to be. But more than anything else, I'm sorry for myself because you're not here with me. So this is okay. So here we go. So I'm sorry is a monster hit for Denver. Number one on the pop charts.
which is so
Number
strange
one,
because people have told
monster hit.
me in retrospect that Denver was finished by 1975. I don't remember who was it that was saying that. America was finished. They were sick and tired of John Denver. So it's strange that he's still putting out hits. That's strange.
Well, this will be to that point. This will be his final number one song. It is. He does reach the top of the charts in the adult contemporary and country charts as well with "I'm Sorry," but this last time on top of the pop mountain. Um, this I think you can argue that "I'm Sorry" and its flip side "Calypso" might in fact be the biggest A and B side or double A side in chart history. Calypso will peak at number two on the pop charts, and it is and Calypso is it's miles ahead of this.
Yes.
His anthem to the Jacques Cousteau and all, but it's you know, Denver is he's a machine at this point. He is. I mean, he's producing hit singles, hit albums. As we've talked about, he's becoming a figure on network television. He will make his way into movies. But you can also, I mean, I think at this point, really suggest that he is at the peak of the mountain and that the other side is steep, and his decline is relatively rapid. He does not adapt well to the disco era. I mean, there's really not much that he does that can be that's danceable, and so he leans heavily into his well, the Muppet phase, which is fine. But
Muppet My God,
but
the Muppet My God phase.
but yeah, the Muppet My God phase
Yeah.
or the My God Muppet phase is yeah, that's where he's at. That's where I think he
It is
has
kind of
most of his
largely
energy.
interchangeable, isn't it? I mean, it's the same.
It's
It's
the
essentially
same,
the same thing.
and so he becomes I think he becomes kind of a commodity. There is a kind of John Denver far out kind of approach that is
He's the
marketed.
young man next door. He's the young man next door that you wouldn't mind
I
your daughter
guess.
dating.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, he's certainly not threatening. Um, but it is this song I think in particular is I don't know. There's something about it that even in the era was a little uh, grating. And so I guess we'll give it a go here. This is John Denver's uh, uh, I'm I'm sorry.
Our friends all ask about you. I say you're doing fine. I expect to hear from you almost any time. They all know I'm crying. I can't sleep at night. They all know I'm dying down deep inside. I'm sorry for all the lies I told you. I'm sorry for the things I didn't say. More than anything else, I'm sorry for myself. I can't believe you went
Yeah, okay. So
away.
we're sorry too, John. And so I'm sorry, John Denver's last experience as a at the number one apex mountain. Um, so it's 1975. I don't know. How do you explain the song at number nine, Dave? I just how can you explain "Run, Joey, Run" from David Geddes? What
It's a
make
it's a
make
it's a
make this make sense to me?
it's a trope that we've had in rock and roll and pop since the 50s, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think that's right.
the young love that becomes tragic because parents can't accept it.
Right.
I
This
think
is
Leader of the Pack was one of the first ones of those, but it goes on again and again, and that's certainly what this is about. Uh, anyway, the song is it's by David Geddes, and that's an interesting story too. So let me start
yeah.
off.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Let me start
this
off
is
with
the whole
that.
thing. Yeah, the
Um,
whole thing is odd.
David Geddes was at law school, Wayne State University in Detroit, when he was called by the producer, Paul Vance. Um, Vance and Jack Perry Cohn, also known as Perry Cohn, had written this song. Um, Perry Cohn had arranged a couple of other recordings for a group that Geddes was in, Rock Garden. Um, Geddes had never had a hit as in the group or as a single artist, a solo artist. But uh, Perry Cohn liked his voice. He played a couple of songs for Vance, and Vance said, "Yeah, that's a perfect voice, perfect vocalist for this song." So they called him, and he came and recorded it, and then returned to begin his third year of law school. Several years later, several months later, the song began to race up the Hot 100. So Geddes dropped out of law school with one semester to go,
Oh, this is nothing would make a parent more proud
and he re-entered the
than
music business.
oh, this is
Um,
okay.
After that, he had one more song, one more hit in the top 100. It didn't break the top 40.
No, tell me he
That,
went back to law school, please.
um, there's no, there's no indication that he ever
Oh,
actually
good
did.
Lord.
We don't
Yeah.
know if he
I mean,
actually ended up in the gutter or
it's
not, but
it's the siren's call. I mean, it's the siren's call, right? There's nothing that approaches pop stardom.
and
And
the thing
so,
is,
I mean,
Run Joey Run wasn't a
oh,
single. They didn't even make an album with him.
eh,
He made
yeah.
his second single, and that was it. No
It's
album even was
David.
produced from this.
David's close to a novelty record. I mean,
Yes.
it's on the edge.
So
Yeah, he
anyway,
did. Oh, unbelievable. No album out of this.
it peaked at number 4. And I'm sorry, I was wrong. His other hit, what actually broke the top 20. It was number 18. Um,
Oh, give the man his due then.
yes, then that hit was the last game of the season. A blind man in the bleachers.
Oh God, of course it was. All right.
But anyway, you would think on the strength of 2 top 20 hits, you could at least make an album with the guy, wouldn't you?
Well, yes. I mean, albums have been made with far
On the basis of
less.
much less, yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it didn't happen. So this song,
Yeah, this is okay. Go ahead. Yeah, this is
the song begins with the refrain, "Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me. Daddy, please don't. We're going to get married. Just you wait and see." So if that doesn't give you a clue as to where this is going to go,
yes, foreshadowing.
foreshadowing. It's anyway. The idea is she calls him up.
Oh God.
She says, "Oh, my dad's really pissed, and he left the house with a gun. You can't come around here anymore. He says he's going to kill you, and run, Joey, run, because
Yeah, yeah.
Daddy's out to get you."
That is out to get you.
So, well, Joey's not going to put up with that. He knows his girl needs support right now, so he ignores her explicit wish and goes over there. And while he's saying, "Hey, are you okay?" She's saying, "Oh, you've got to leave. You've got to leave." And at that moment, her dad appears and he's got a gun in his hand and he points it at Joey and he fires it. And of course, in the last second, she throws herself
What you
between
do. That's what young
Joey
lovers
and the
do.
gun. "Daddy, please don't." Ooh, and is shot and
Takes a bullet for Joey.
dies in Joey's arms.
Oh well.
So
It all comes full circle.
yeah,
It's it's
it's a
awful.
trope. It's a beloved trope, and apparently you can
That's
do this as
fair.
often as you want, and you'll
Yeah,
make
so
them
this is the
happy.
thing, Dave. So if it's 1958, somehow this makes more sense to me. But it's the mid 70s,
Yeah.
and it is so overwrought that it borders on a kind of novelty record, and the young woman's voice is well. I mean, it
Well, let's talk
does.
about that for just a moment.
Yeah, this it's
The young woman is Vance's, the producer, Paul Vance's daughter, and so he just recruits her to do this. And
and she has a major
you
and she's a
told me,
major contribution.
yeah, well, yeah,
I mean, she's a half the record.
half the record is her pleading with her father, and she gets no credit.
This is the thing.
She's
Yeah,
not
so
credited.
so
Her name is
you would
Paula Vance.
she doesn't get she doesn't get a vocal credit. It's and her dad who's it's her dad's producing. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it's
And the song actually begins with her. I mean, it's almost David Geddes in name only. Anyway, it's a duet of sorts. It's um it's really something.
well,
It's yeah.
let's listen in.
Oh
It's
goodness. All
back
right,
to
here
the
we go.
point.
Okay, buckle up. Here we go. All right, David Geddes, Run Joey Run. Yeah, you can't dress it up. Here we go.
In front of me, suddenly a shot rang out, and I saw Julie falling. I ran to her, I held her close. When I looked down, my hands were red, and here's the last words Julie said.
Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me. Daddy, please don't. We're gonna get married.
Wow. So there you go. That's Run Joey Run in all its splendor. It's inexplicable.
And that's one of those things.
It's inexplicable.
If it had gone like we would have expected it to go, that could have been something that we talked about on the what were they thinking? But apparently, what they were thinking was we can make a top 10 hit by just recycling this.
I guess so. I mean, there's
And
no
they were
accounting for
right.
taste.
They were right,
So-
and we would have been wrong. So
Yeah, and well, like David Bowie would say, you couldn't. There's no way of knowing what's going to be a hit and what's not going to be a hit. And so I don't know. Run Joey Run. It's a head scratcher a half century later. Here's at number 10. It's a Tale of Redemption. It's one Freddie Fender's Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Freddie Fender, I mean, you talk about having a good 75. Freddie Fender earlier had a big hit, and a guy with really relatively no chart success. 75 is a banner year. Wasted Days and Wasted Nights is a song that he originally co-wrote and recorded in the late 1950s when he was an up-and-coming rock and roller. He ran into real problems with the law and spent some time incarcerated. I mean, spent a long time incarcerated. But upon leaving prison, he rekindled his recording and performing career and got a contract and revisited this song roughly 15 years or so after he had first recorded it. The song itself, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights, had been floating around the Southwest as a kind of regional hit, something that cover bands would play. And so in 1971, a group called the Sir Douglas Quintet, who have a measure of fame in the region, led by a guy named Doug Sham and Augie Myers, they recorded it and they had some success with it. Fender then revisited it in 75, and like I said a second ago, had real pop success with it. Number 8 on the pop charts and number 1 on the country charts. Fender would later connect with a couple of guys in that Sir Douglas Quintet, Augie Myers again, and Doug Sham, and formed the Texas Tornadoes, who became a kind of Tejano supergroup. Freddie Fender had lots of ups and downs in his life, but I mean his is really, I think, a tale of redemption, and there's something about hard work is rewarded, and here we go. And so it's the great Freddie Fender's Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Here we go.
Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind, for you don't belong to me,
your heart belongs to someone else.
Mr. Fender, thank you very much. And so, what a 75. What a 75 that guy had. Let's cherry pick.
Let's.
And at number 11, it's a super group. And I think we kind of forget that it was a super group. But it was definitely a super group. And they had kind of partnered with another super group. But it's Bad Company's Feel Like Making Love at number 11.
Feel Like Making Love from their second album, Straight Shooter. This was written by Paul Rodgers and Mick Rouse, produced by the group itself, Bad Company, and released in June in the US and in August in the UK on Swan Song Records.
Yeah, so this is so Swan Song is Led Zeppelin's
Right.
imprint.
And Swan Song actually released a Bad Company album on that label before they released one of their own.
Yeah, this is
Bad
yes.
Company, the debut album.
The debut album, which is
was
great,
the
by the way.
The second one that was released on that label in the UK, it's the first from Swan Song that was released in the States. And in both cases, it was before Physical Graffiti, I think was the
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin song that was record that was released on Swan Song. Anyway,
Yeah.
this was a song that Rodgers had started working on while he was still in Free, and he brought it and he played it for Rouse, and Rouse added this da 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 da.
Yeah.
Guitar
Yes,
hook.
that's right. The heavy hook. Yeah.
Yeah, which just kind of put it over the top, right? I mean,
Oh,
it's
it does.
really-
It really, I
makes
think it
the
really
song.
makes a song. Yeah.
And so that's how that happened. It became a top 10 hit in the US at number 10, number 5 in Canada, and number 2 in New Zealand. And it was also a top 20 adult contemporary hit in both parts of North America.
Bad Company will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on this next class. I don't know, 30 years too late, but they were a group that had really interesting singles. I think this is a really interesting signal, and they had terrific albums. And those albums, they're just chock full of incredible songs. The deep cuts are just extraordinary. They have kind of been lost in the shuffle a little bit over time, but they were a group of real note in the 70s. People listened to Bad Company. People bought Bad Company albums. I do think that Bad Company, while they're having incredible singles in this era, the albums are where the action is, and those albums are amongst the best in the 1970s. Great playing, great production,
incredible,
and also and some really great artwork too on a number of those albums. And so, they're an extraordinary group.
Let's go ahead and listen in.
Let's do it.
And if I had the sun and moon, and they were shining, I would give you both night and day, love satisfying. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love to you.
Yeah, the beautiful high harmonies there.
Oh man, it's part of what you're talking
great.
about there. That's the sort of thing that contributes to like every song they make just being fantastic. Um,
I,
and you know,
yeah,
they
I
have
just think
singles
there's
off every album, but every album is just full of that sort of stuff.
just full of that. It's just so there's yeah, so you can't go wrong with a Bad Company album. That's for sure.
And any number of
Last
critics,
yeah.
rock critics, historical rock critics, they place this song at like number two or number three of Bad Company's best singles.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. One other song we want to talk about briefly here in mid-September of 75 is at number 14. It's from, well, it's a kind of one-hit wonder in a way. It's the Amazing Rhythm Aces with Third Rate Romance, which is it's a song about cheating and loving and cheating and finding confidence and losing confidence. And there's a certain kind of literary quality to it that makes it really quite interesting. It's not unlike listening to a short story penned by one Russell Smith. It's really quite a fascinating song. It peaks again at number 14 in this on this pop charts, and it makes it to number 11 on the country charts. This is sort of kind of it for the Amazing Rhythm Aces, but there's something about this song. There's a lasting quality. It's been recorded by lots of other people down the road, including Sammy Kershaw, who had some success with it. But yeah, it's kind of it's a one of a kind song, and so let's listen to a little bit of Third Rate Romance from well, the Amazing Rhythm Aces.
Sitting in a tiny table in a ritzy restaurant, she was staring at her coffee cup. He was trying to keep his courage up by applying booze. Talk was small and they talked at all. They both knew what they wanted. There was no need to talk about it. They were old enough to scope it out and keep it loose. She said, "You don't look like my type, but I guess you'll do." Third rate romance, low rent rendezvous.
Indeed, Low End Rendezvous. So the Amazing Rhythm Aces help us close it out for mid-September of 1975. Really quite a song. And well, Dave, why don't you take us home?
Sure. If you enjoyed this episode, we hope you did, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that right here, Steve and Dave's. And you can watch another episode of 50 Years Ago this month, right up here. And as always, you'll want to be sure to check out the playlist because it's full of good songs. Full of good songs and an extra version of
Oh, geez.
Could It Be Magic?
Oh, Could It Be Magic?
And
Yeah.
Run Joey Run. It has those as
Uh,
well. Right here.
oh, God. Fantastic. Yeah. So there we go. And so we're going to always include a reading list. So you want to kind of get into some of the not only the performers, but some of the production people that we mentioned. You can take a look at that. And please keep in mind that we're on BlueSky, and we are posting new content on BlueSky every week, every day actually.
Every day.
And it's super interesting. And so, well, until next time, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.